right, boys and girls, we just read snippets and now we're going to do a drawing based on it. If you do not want to use scissors or cut paper, that's okay. This project, we're going to make shapes, kind of based on the story of snippets, and make something. You can turn your paper however you want to. Remember, I'm using a sketch pad, but you can use paper, that's fine. I'm actually going to turn my paper this way. I call it long like a hot dog. It's horizontal. I like to turn my paper this way. And remember, I'm going to use a pen, a marker to draw with. You don't have to do that. You can use a pencil or a crayon or whatever you have. But we're going to start with warming up our hands. I'm going to rub my hands together. Get my hands all nice and warm. I'm going to wiggle my fingers, squeeze and open and squeeze and open. Roll my wrists one way, roll my wrists the other way. Now we're going to make shapes on our paper to make a picture. And you use whatever you want to, but we talked about line, and when lines come together, they make shapes, and we make shapes to make pictures. So today, I'm going to draw a house. I know that we had houses in our story, and I would just like to draw one big house. You can draw lots of houses, you can do whatever you want, but I'm going to draw my house just using shapes. And I'm going to draw a few irregular shapes like in snippets to add detail to my house. You draw whatever you want to draw, but this is how I'm going to get started. I'm going to draw one house on my paper, so I'm going to start with a square. I'm going to draw just a square. This is actually going to look more like a rectangle. And notice my square isn't perfect, and that's okay. Now, I'm going to draw that triangle on the top to make a roof. You can draw however you want to. You can make any kind of a roof. And now I'm going to start to add a few details to my picture. So I'm going to draw some squares for some windows. And I'm going to draw a window here. I might add some more windows. A lot of times I like to just draw and see. Notice they're different shapes, and that's okay. They're different sizes. And I'm going to draw some right here. And I think I'm going to have my front door be right over here on the side. You can put your front door wherever you want to. I think I'd kind of like my front door to be right here. It's in a different spot than it normally is, isn't it? So I'm going to draw a circle right here to be my front door. And then I'm going to start drawing some other things on my picture. I think I'd like for my house to have some shutters. So I'm going to draw that shape. And I'm going to draw these little lines to kind of look like shutters on my picture. So I'm going to draw some here. And they're kind of open. I'm going to draw my shutters kind of hanging open a little bit. Draw them however you want to. I'm drawing it that way. And notice I'm making my lines kind of change directions. I want them to kind of change directions, so I'm using line and shapes to make my pictures. Some houses have window panes that look like this. Some of them have different window panes. You draw them however you want to. I'm drawing this shape to make different squares on my paper to make some window panes. You can do it. Make yours. If you have window panes that look different, you can put those on there. And I've decided I'm going to add a little door frame by adding these little lines right here. So notice I added that right there. And I would like to add like a little circle path. I'm going to make these little circle shapes, and it leads to the side of my house over here. I'm just going to add this, and I'm going to make it kind of run off the paper. That's a little walkway up to my house. So I'm going to add some more things to my picture. And I think what I would like to do is I'm going to add like a little curvy lines over here because I'm going to have some shrubs at my house. I'm going to put them right in here. You do it however you want to do it. I'm going to give them kind of a top there. I'm going to add color to that in a little bit. Remember, any shapes are okay from our story. And then I've decided that I would like for my pets to have a little mini house next to mine. So I'm going to put a little mini dog house right out here. And this is where the dog is going to live. And then I'm going to do another little house right here. And this is where the kitty cat is going to live. I'm going to do this is my little dog house and my little cat house next to my big house. And notice the shapes I used was a square. I did that rainbow line like we used last week on our line monsters. And then I made those angle lines on top. It kind of makes a triangle on our paper. You can add whatever you want to yours. I'm going to add some leaves to my shrubs that are right over here to make it look more like shrubs. I'm going to add those circle shapes in here. And those are curly lines that you can just add. I'm going to add a lot of circle shapes in here. So that's going to be my shrubbery coming up next to my house. It's like just a row of hedges. There's my house, my door, my windows, and then my dog house and my cat house, and then a little path. You add whatever you want to, and also make sure you add color to your picture. I'm just going to add a little bit of color right now. I'm going to fill in, I'm going to pretend the lights are on in my house, and I'm going to color these windows yellow so it looks all nice and bright inside. You can make your house whatever color you want. I'm going to make my dog's house, I'm going to turn that into a little brown house. And then my cat's house over here, I'm going to make it this little reddish purple color. I can put whatever roof I want on there, so I'm going to make orange roofs for both of them. And I'm going to make my shutters orange. You can use whatever colors you want. These are all the shapes and lines that you have made on your paper. They're going to look different than mine, which is just fine. I think I want my path outside my door to be purple. I think I like to have a purple path. So I'm going to fill that in purple. Or I might want to change colors and make it all kinds of colors. It can be whatever you want it to be. I'm going to change those colors. It's going to be a colorful path coming into my house. I think I'd like my front door to be green, so I'm going to add green right here. It can be whatever colors you want it to be because it's your house that you're designing using shapes. And I think I would like, for my hedge, I'm going to make it blue in places. I'm going to make it change colors, just like my path did. Remember, this is just like in our story snippets, all the shapes get along. Well, all the colors can get along and they can work together to make a beautiful piece of art. You can have these right here. I'm going to switch to red. Alright, so you just keep adding shapes and colors to your picture. This is if you didn't want to do the cut part of this story, this lesson. And I also have a lesson on here where we use snippets and we use cut paper. That is up to you if you just want to draw with shapes, or you can do the other one where we're going to cut some paper and use our snippets and all our shapes to make artwork. Hope you enjoyed it today, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.